I was a big fan of Troll Hunters, but when I heard Guillermo del Toro was making the Tales of Arcadia a shared universe franchise of sorts, I wasn't so sure how things would stack up. I love Troll Hunters. Blinky, Jim Lake Jr., all the monsters and the lore. But really, can a show about those weird foreign exchange students from Cantaloupia hold a candle to Troll Hunters? It turns out, those weirdos are alien royalty who have a rich story of their own. I'm Chris Carr, and today we're launching into the new series, Three Below.
Oh, yeah.
As always, we'll talk about the show spoiler-free for the first half of this review. When I dish out some crazy deets, I'll give you fair warning. Sound good? Lively. Let's do this. Three Below is all about Aja and Krell, royal siblings and heirs to the throne on the planet Arcadia 5. Krell is tech-savvy and snarky, and Aja is a free spirit, physically strong, and not on board with being a monarch. During a ceremony naming the siblings as the Queen and King in Waiting, a ceremony Aja ditches, their planet is invaded by the General Morando. Morando was previously banished from their planet, and he's back to try to claim the throne. He enters the planet with ease thanks to a traitor in the royal court's midst. During the chaos, Morando shoots both the king and queen, leaving only their cores behind. With the help of Vex, a formidable warrior and close confidant of the king, the children escape and flee to the planet Earth. I wish we were able to explore Arcadia 5 more before our heroes fled off-world. It seemed so interesting. The Tron-esque designs of these energy-based beings was incredible, and I love the idea of them having a core that contains their essence. It's like the same concept of gems on Steven Universe. But back to the story. On Earth, our trio take on human forms hoping to blend in and not draw attention to themselves. And the show gets really real about how people stereotype.
I have chosen 3 forms that people on the Mud Planet tend to ignore. A girl, a Latino, a senior citizen.
Aja and Krell navigate being Earth teens, and Vex befriends the geezers of Arcadia. The 3 learn about blending in and work to restore Aja and Krell's parents from their cores and get their ship off this muddy dump heap. What the series really has in its favor is its shared timeline with Troll Hunters. The key events of Troll Hunters Part 3 ties in beautifully with Three Below. Using the flagship series to introduce these new characters was a smart move, and it's really interesting to see how the alien events could go unnoticed by Jim and his team. The writers even key us into the Troll Hunter timeline, so we as an audience know when we are in that story. I'm interested to go back and rewatch Part 3 with this new Three Below knowledge and see if everything actually fits together, particularly Steve Palchuk's storyline. Steve Palchuk is a major player in Three Below. After redeeming himself as a creeper slayer in Troll Hunters, it was fun to see Steve get more screen time. Sure, he's a bumbling oaf, but he's become a lovable one. How Steve ties into the story was one of my favorite aspects of this new series. Oh, and his bromance with Eli is truly wonderful.
That's when the Billy Craggle emerges from its cave.
Hush your manly voice. No creeper talk around the plebes.
While Three Below is a spin-off and does tie into Troll Hunters directly, it can stand on its own 2 feet. It's a universal story, finding where you belong in the universe, finding strength in your friends and family, working for causes greater than yourself. It helps that these characters are genuinely likable and fun. Aja is spunky and not afraid to go after what she wants. She goes against the traditions of her world and works to be a warrior. Krell loves math and science and discovers he loves Earth music. Vex, voiced by Nick Offerman, is bombastic. He reminds me of the Sontaran Strax from Doctor Who. Warrior first, but ultimately a big ol' cinnamon bun who has a duty to protect these young aliens. And then there's the corgi who has laser farts! That's Lug. He's precious. Another set of standout characters, the blank robots that Krell programs to pose as their human parents. And sure, the farts and the weird 50s jokes can take away from the intensity of the show, but I think it's needed. And there are definitely moments that made me laugh out loud.
What's the first thing you do when you get behind the wheel? You pray! The car is a death trap!
Remember though, at the heart of this story is a coup, a fight for the throne, and a struggle to keep the monarchy alive. While General Morando is responsible for our heroes fleeing to Earth, he's not the present threat in Part 1. Instead, we're dealing with a trio of bounty hunters known as the Zerons.
They are walking instruments of death. They elicit fear, dread, and the occasional incontinence.
The fights are intense. The character designs are amazing. And the story within the story aspect of the show will keep you invested for all 13 episodes. If you were a fan of Troll Hunters, I think you're gonna like this one. All right, now let's talk spoilers. First, I want to talk about one of my favorite characters, but I didn't want to give away the reveal. I'm talking about Stu. electronics dealer by day, Diablo Max breakfast burrito peddler by day also. But Stu's also an alien! Nick Frost voices Stu, and he makes him so fun. Fans of Frost's work, particularly his parts in the Cornetto trilogy, will enjoy this little Easter egg.
Pants! Don't rip pants! That's good! Oh, get off of my lawn! Sorry!
Ugh, I love that gag. Next, Steve Palchuk finds love! He and Aja date in the series and actually make a really sweet couple. It's really rewarding to see Steve make such a positive change from when we first met him in part 1 on Troll Hunters. While he is still pretty dumb and self-absorbed, he's become an incredibly caring individual. When he learns that Aja's an alien, he seems to fall even deeper in love with her, because he's seeing the real her.
So this isn't really the way I wanted you to find out. We're not all like the Zerons.
You are so beautiful.
You're not frightened?
I was! But that was more about almost becoming a pancake and less about you being blue.
But the biggest reveal of the season is obviously that Vex betrayed the king and queen and lowered the shields for Mirando and his troops to wreak havoc on the planet. We learn that Vex's family was killed by the Zerons, and Mirando promised him the opportunity to avenge his family and that no one would be hurt in his play for the throne. Vex, read a history book. There are always casualties when power changes hands. You can't be that naive, bro. While the betrayal stings, you do understand why Vex did it. I mean, these Zerons killed Vex's entire family. That's enough to make even the most loyal friend make some compromising choices. Vex does restore his honor by defending the royals, even if it means ending his own life. Vex seems to have barely made it out of the crash alive, and things aren't looking up. The final surviving Zeron, Alpha, has kidnapped our brash bodyguard, and it's looking like he isn't keeping him earthbound. That's extra problematic since our royal family is earthbound indefinitely at the end of the season. What's going to happen to Aja and Krell? Will they be able to find Vex? Will their parents finally be regenerated? Lots of questions need answering, y'all. Next season, we can anticipate the big bad Mirando playing a role that's much more up front and center. What I'm really interested in is how things go with Eli now knowing Aja and Krell are aliens, and that he has photographic proof. Also, now that Jim and Claire are off on troll-related adventures, Toby's the only one guarding Arcadia from mythical threats with Arg. Will we see him teaming up with our aliens in the future? So, is 3 Below binge-worthy? At 13 episodes, there's enough meat here for an enjoyable watch that doesn't drag. As I said before, at times the humor can detract from the danger and story, but all in all, I think the show will grow into something worthy of being a tale of Arcadia. Of course, this is just my opinion. What do you guys think of the series? Let me know down below. Thanks for watching. Until next time, remember all things in moderation, except your shows.